Hi, my name is Deborah Bringleson, and I work with CEOs all over the world, helping them grow their businesses and transform their lives. And I've got one question that you should be asking every day, multiple times a day. It's a question that I'm known for. All of my clients, all of the students in my classes, all know that at some point they're going to get asked this question. Do you know what it is? So let's pretend that you're in a business that serves business people. We're going to work through this and use an example really quickly. You're serving businesses and they have problems to solve, as all business people do. They need more leads, make more sales, HR is a problem, whatever it is. Their ideal buyers are looking for solutions. Okay, how are you going to help them? Now, your first response is, well, I'm going to help them by selling them my product or service, whatever that is. Website services, SEO, sales training, computers, whatever it is. But is that what they really need? Well, of course, ultimately, you want them to buy that. But the question that I want you to keep asking is, what's under that? Write that down. What's under that? So when your ideal buyer is stressed out, fighting with their spouse, ignoring their children because they've got their cell phone in their face, or laying in bed at night staring at the ceiling, they are not, and I promise you this, they are not thinking about your product or service. They're not. They may need more leads, but what's under that? Their problem may be that revenues are declining, costs are going up, they can't find superstar salespeople. That's under that. But what's under that? They are worried about paying for their child's college, or braces, or taking care of an aging parent, or the fact that the shop floor needs to be completely resurfaced. And that's a huge expense. What's under that? They're thinking, how did I get myself into this mess? What am I going to do? If your ideal buyer maybe isn't the CEO, but a project manager, they're needing to solve all of their project problems, but what's under their stress? The people they're managing, the vendors that they're working with are all being difficult. They don't know how to find the right ones. The boss is angry and putting pressure on them. So what's under their stress? On the surface, yes, they may need your product or service, but what they really need is someone that they can trust to advise them. So when you go in to talk to them and say, hey, I have a product that I want to sell you, they're going to give you a fraction of the interest that you ultimately can get if you ask the question, what's under that? What's under their need? What is their stress? When you go in and say to someone, look, I know you're under a lot of pressure and I've got some solutions for you, that makes you an advisor, not a salesperson. I'll give you an example. You've probably heard me talk about Nadia, the woman who owned the real estate company, who was selling real estate the way everyone does, talking about granite and lighting and fixtures and all of those kinds of things. And then for an entire year, she made no revenue, $0. Can you imagine that? So we did some research and looked at what's under that? What's under the needs of her ideal buyers? And one of the things that we discovered is that they were at a higher rate of stress-related illnesses, diabetes, heart disease, stroke, and their children were at a 300% increased risk of aberrant behavior like drug use. So we stopped talking to our ideal buyers on things like granite and lighting, and we started talking to them about how to prevent stress, how to lower your risk of heart disease, how to prevent premature death, how to get your kids to put down the iPad and go out and play and burn off some steam. Do you know what happened? Because we cared about what was underneath the stress of our ideal buyers, instead of backing away when we tried to talk to them, they leaned in. They wanted to know more. They wanted more information. And this client, her sales went from 0 in a 12-month period to $602 million in the next 12-month period, just by asking that one question. What's under that? So the next time you're meeting with a prospect, or the next time even you're talking to your salespeople, start asking the question, what's underneath what our clients are saying to us? What's the real problem that they're having? I promise you again, it's not about your product or service. It's really not. It's about something deeper. And keep asking that question until you get to the root of what they really need. A lot of times, what it is people feel like they're not going to make it. They don't have the answers. They don't have the solutions. And what's really under that? They feel like they're not good enough in some way. If you can help them solve these problems, you're no longer a salesperson trying to sell a product. You're an advisor. And boy, that's a whole new ball game. Click the link below, and I'm going to show you some examples of people who've used this question and other strategies, including quantum physics and business tools, to grow their revenue 2x, 4x, 10x, and as I said, some even more than 3,000%. I promise it's worth it. Click the button, and I'll see you on the other side.